There is one in the corner of your bathroom right now. You have been watching it for 3 days. It sits in a loose, messy web between the wall and the ceiling, motionless for hours, occasionally shifting a leg. Every time you walk past it, you feel the same thing. A low, irrational tension in your chest. You know it is probably harmless. You know it is small, but some part of you wants every spider on Earth to simply vanish. Every single one. Gone tomorrow. No more webs. No more 8-legged shapes darting across the floor at midnight. Just a clean, spider-free world. Be very careful with that wish. Because if it came true, if every spider on Earth disappeared overnight, what would follow is not relief. It is a collapse so large and so fast that within months you would not recognize the world outside your door. Today, you will understand what spiders are actually doing on a global scale, how much they consume, what fills the gap when they vanish, and why the creature sitting in the corner of your bathroom is performing a service so critical that one of the most respected arachnologists in the world has said plainly that without them, we would face famine. Here is what most people never learn about spiders. They are not a fringe predator. They are the single most abundant group of terrestrial predators on the planet. There are over 50,000 known species, with possibly another 50,000 still undiscovered. They have been here for roughly 400 million years, since the Devonian period, predating the dinosaurs by nearly 200 million years. They have colonized every continent except Antarctica, and they disperse across oceans by releasing silk threads into the wind and riding atmospheric currents in a behavior called ballooning. Right now, on this planet, there are an estimated 25 million metric tons of spiders. That is the combined weight of the global spider population, and they are all hunting. Here is where the scale becomes difficult to absorb. In 2017, researchers Martin Niffler at the University of Basel and Klaus Birkhofer at Lund University published a landmark study in the journal The Science of Nature. Using data compiled from 65 previous studies across 7 biomes, they calculated how much prey the global spider community kills each year. The number was 400 to 800 million metric tons. More than 90% of that prey is insects and springtails. To put that in perspective, all humans on Earth together consume roughly 400 million tons of meat and fish annually. Spiders eat as much as or more than the entire human race. They also consume more than the world's whales, which take between 280 and 500 million tons of seafood per year. No other group of land-based predators comes close to this scale. Spiders are not just part of the food web. They are one of the largest predatory forces operating on the surface of the Earth. Now remove them, all of them, overnight. The first thing that happens is an insect population explosion. Spiders consume roughly 10% of global insect biomass every year. Without that predatory pressure, insect populations with high reproductive rates, mosquitoes, aphids, whiteflies, moths, beetles, begin doubling and redoubling at speeds that nothing else in the ecosystem can match. Birds eat insects. Bats eat insects. But neither group hunts at the scale, the diversity of habitat, or the around-the-clock persistence that spiders do. A single house spider can consume up to 2,000 insects per year. Multiply that across the estimated 100 to 200 spiders living in an average home at any given time, and your house alone is losing a predator force that was quietly removing thousands of flies, mosquitoes, moths, and ants every year without you ever noticing. In your garden, the impact is immediate. Spiders are among the most effective biological control agents in agricultural and garden ecosystems. Orb weavers intercept flying pests. Wolf spiders hunt on the ground at night. Jumping spiders stalk aphids and small caterpillars in broad daylight. Crab spiders ambush pollinators' predators on flower heads, remove them, and pest populations that were being suppressed surge within weeks. Aphid colonies explode. Caterpillar damage spreads unchecked. The same pest pressure that commercial agriculture spends billions of dollars per year trying to manage with chemical insecticides is currently being handled for free by the spiders living in your yard. Norman Platnick, a former arachnologist at the American Museum of Natural History and one of the most cited spider researchers in the world, put it simply, if spiders disappeared, we would face famine. Not because spiders pollinate crops, not because they build soil, but because without them, the insects that devour crops would have no meaningful check on their population growth. The cascade would move from gardens to farms to regional food systems within a single growing season. Then come the diseases. Spiders are primary predators of several disease-carrying insect groups, including mosquitoes that transmit malaria, dengue fever, Zika virus, and West Nile virus, and flies that spread dysentery and cholera. The World Health Organization currently attributes more than 700,000 human deaths per year to vector-borne diseases. That number reflects a world where spiders are still present, still hunting, still intercepting billions of mosquitoes and flies every night in webs stretched across doorways, garden beds, porch corners, and forest canopies. Remove the spiders, and vector populations climb. In tropical regions already struggling with endemic disease, the escalation would be measured in human lives. The collapse does not stop with insects. Between 3,000 and 5,000 bird species worldwide rely on spiders as an important part of their diet. Wrens, chickadees, warblers, and hummingbirds all consume spiders regularly, especially during breeding season when the protein density of a spider is critical for feeding nestlings. An additional 8,000 to 10,000 species of other predators, parasitoids, and parasites feed exclusively on spiders. Remove the spiders, and you do not just lose a predator. You remove a food source for thousands of species above them in the web. The ripple moves upward and outward simultaneously. In grasslands, where spider densities can reach 2.5 million individuals per acre, the loss would alter entire plant communities. Without spiders suppressing herbivorous insect populations, defoliating insects would strip vegetation faster than it can recover. Photosynthesis declines. Carbon sequestration slows. Soil structure destabilizes as the insects that normally get eaten begin overgrazing root systems and ground cover. The grassland does not just lose its spiders, it begins to lose its ability to function as an ecosystem. This is what ecologists call a trophic cascade, and it is the same class of collapse that occurs whenever a top predator is removed from a system. The difference is that spiders operate at a scale and across a diversity of habitats that no other terrestrial predator group matches. They are in your attic. They are in your garden. They are in the canopy of every forest and the leaf litter of every meadow. They hunt during the day and during the night, on the ground and in the air, in deserts and in wetlands, indoors and outdoors. There is no environment they have not reached, and no insect community they are not suppressing. Here is what you should actually do with the spider in your bathroom. Leave it. It is not dangerous to you. The overwhelming majority of the world's 50,000 spider species do not have venom capable of harming a human, and even those that do, like the brown recluse or the black widow, are reclusive by nature and bite only when physically pressed against skin. The spider in your corner is not interested in you. It is interested in the flies, mosquitoes, moths, and gnats that find their way into your house through the same gaps and cracks that let air in. It is catching them for you. If you genuinely cannot coexist with it, slide a glass over it, slip a piece of paper underneath, and release it outside. But understand that every spider you remove from your house is pest control you are choosing to do without. The next time you see one sitting motionless in a web in the corner of a room you do not use much, remember what it is doing. Remember what 25 million metric tons of its relatives are doing right now across every ecosystem on Earth, every hour of every day. And remember that the clean, spider-free world you sometimes wish for is not a world you would want to live in for more than a few months. Have you ever left a spider alone in your house on purpose? Tell me about it in the comments. I read every single one. And this is exactly the kind of story this community was built for. This is 6 Legs Deep. I will see you in the next one. And if you have ever wondered about the tiny creature that spins a web so precise it can catch a single dewdrop on every strand at dawn, and whether that engineering has anything to teach the people who design surgical sutures, the next video is already waiting for you.